Prologue. Awakening. It's the day of Naruto's graduation exam and he was in high spirits. With high hopes, he went to the academy to pass and took his graduation test with confidence. He did well, at least up to a passing level in his written test and barely passed the accuracy test. He was called to perform the required 3 academy jutsu. He did henge well and changed into his idol, the yandame. The kawarimi went well with a nearby chair. The last one was his toughest, the bunshin jutsu. Naruto performed the required hand seals and with a puff of smoke, a dead pale clone came into existence. Naruto hoped it would stay, but it disappeared a second later in the same smoke. "I'm sorry, Naruto. You have failed," said the sad voice of his favorite Chunin sensei, Irika Umino, whom Naruto looked up to as a surrogate big brother. He ran from the academy building, unable to bear his third failure, and sat on a lonely swing which became his go-to spot in the academy when he is sad. He always sat there when he was sad, as it is always silent, unlike the passers-by who always call him names. "Did you hear? The demon brat failed." "Really? Good thing. Did it seriously think it can pass and kill us? Yandame's soul will rest in peace now." "No doubt he will." Naruto heard people mutter. Having heard them thousands, if not millions of times, he got accustomed to it. But the last part is new, which I didn't care about. He sat there, wallowing in his sorrow for some time when he heard footsteps and looked up to see Mizuki-sensei, Irika's assistant, walking towards him. What he told amazed Naruto. After all, he won't be happy when they get a second chance to do what they want the most. His sensei told him about a secret graduation exam, which is in his sensei's power to make him genin if he managed to retrieve a scroll from the Hokage Tower, learn a jutsu from it within a specified time. Being given a second chance to prove himself, Naruto accepted the mission without thought and went to the Hokage Tower to do it. He is going to make it this time. Hokage Tower. As he entered the Hokage Tower, by escaping all traps and people guarding it, he saw none and went to the room Mizuki-sensei told him about and found a large scroll with so many ink markings on it as instructed. Yada found it, Naruto thought, and took it and exited the room, only to come face to face with the famed shinobi no kami, Sarutobi Hiruzen, the Sandame Hokage himself. "Naruto, what are you doing here at this hour? Are you feeling all right?" asked the old man he calls Jiji. Naruto was shocked to find this soon, but he replied to cover it up. "I'm fine, Jiji. I'm just walking around and on a secret mission. Bye," he said, and escaped through a nearby window. The old man was surprised, but went into the room to check if any were missing and found a valuable item missing. Naruto took the Scroll of Seals, he thought in shock. The Scroll of Seals is a scroll that has many forbidden jutsu which are banned by the Hokage from general use as they are dangerous. Hiruzen came out of his shock quickly and went to call the only person who can find Naruto. This is an important mission and should be kept under wraps at all costs. Irika hurried to the Hokage Tower as he was called urgently by the Hokage through ANBU. He opened to see the Sandame looking towards the village. "You called me, Hokage-sama?" he asked with a bow. "Yes, Irika. I have a mission for you and it must be kept under wraps at all costs," said the Sandame in a serious tone, and Irika nodded in acknowledgement. "Hi, Hokage-sama. What is this about?" Irika asked curiously, as he doesn't know any important mission at this hour. Naruto took the forbidden scroll, Irika. The Sandame raised his hand to silence any incoming protest from Irika. "I know he won't do it, but he told me about a secret mission. I think someone played him to do it. They might be planning to get the scroll for themselves, and if I tell this to all our forces, they would have escaped amid all the chaos. This is going to be an A-rank mission and is to be done silently without anyone knowing anything. I entrust this mission to you, Irika. Naruto's safety is a high priority as well. Don't let anyone harm Naruto. Prepare yourself for combat as well, we don't know what they have planned." Dismissed. Hiruzen ordered, and Irika bowed and left the Hokage Tower in a shunshin. Scene break. Meanwhile, in forests around Konoha. What can I learn? This or this?" Naruto asked loudly as he pointed at all the jutsu that was in the forbidden scroll. He saw an eye-catching one. Forbidden Clone Jutsu, it read. Interested in its name, Naruto read it. 1. Kagebunshin no Jutsu Shadow Clone Jutsu. Rank B. Type: Ninjutsu. Status: Kenjutsu. Hand seals: cross. The Kagebunshin no Jutsu, Shadow Clone Jutsu, is a technique developed by the Naidame Hokage, Tobarama Senju. Similar to the basic clone jutsu, this technique creates copies of the user. However, these clones are real instead of illusions. The user's chakra is evenly distributed among every clone, giving each clone an equal fraction of its overall power. The clones are capable of performing techniques, including the shadow clone jutsu itself, on their own and can even bleed, but will usually disperse after being hit by a strong enough force. The clones can also disperse on their own or be dispelled by the user of the technique. This piqued Naruto's interest. As normal Bunshins has become a nightmare, he thought of trying it but stopped seeing that something else was written in continuation and read it. When dispelled, the user and other clones get the information that the clone learned in its life. Warning: this technique requires at least Jounin-level chakra reserves, and dispelling multiple clones at once may cause brain damage and lead to death in the case of low chakra users. Clones depend upon the amount of chakra that the user has. Wow, a clone jutsu that is solid and can send memories to the user? I must learn this, thought Naruto in joy. He continued, he sees if anything else will pique his interest. 2. Taju Kagebunshin no Jutsu Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu. Type: Ninjutsu. Status: Kenjutsu. Rank: A. Hand seals: cross/ram. Taju Kagebunshin no Jutsu is an advanced variation of the Kagebunshin no Jutsu and was banned by the Yondaime Hokage. This is the same as Shadow Clone Jutsu, but the number of clones increases. Instead of tens of clones, hundreds of clones will be created. This technique can also kill a shinobi either due to severe chakra exhaustion or overload of information. Kage-level chakra reserves are needed for this jutsu to be performed, as shinobi can die by a mere attempt if they don't have enough chakra reserves. Concluded the jutsu, and Naruto got curious. He was told he had a lot of chakra once by his Jiji, so he estimated at least Kage-level reserves, as it was not much. He smiled brightly, though you can see his mask crack with the devilish grin on his face. Naruto didn't notice it. He can learn something new at last. He is fed up with all the excuses his sensei gave him at the academy. Even though he is seen as goofy and knucklehead, he is an intelligent kid. He made this goofy facade in his pursuit to gain attention, and it started crack today, releasing the hidden genius, the true Uzumaki Naruto. He started learning the two jutsu, and it just took him 2 hours to learn both jutsu perfectly and make perfect clones. Kagebunshin no Jutsu, Shadow Clone Jutsu. Called Naruto, he tried, with no daily. After a few tries, he made 4 shadow clones form to his sides, smiling widely. Yes, I did it. I learned a B jutsu. Now to learn more, said Naruto, dispelling his clones, and started skimming the scroll for any other jutsu he can learn. Something extra might help him as an ace like that team's fireball jutsu. He found other styles of clone jutsu as well. He read through them and took them like a fish to water. 3. Bunshin Daibakuha Great Clone Explosion. Rank A. Type: Ninjutsu, Kenjutsu. Class: Offensive. Range: Short range, 0-5 m. The user creates a shadow clone, intending for their opponents to attack the clone at close range. After a certain amount of time has passed, the clone detonates, creating a large explosion. 4. Chibushin no Jutsu, Blood Clone. Rank A. Type: Ninjutsu Clone Technique. Class: Supplementary. Hand signs: Dragon Snake. Blood Clone Jutsu was first created by Naruto Uzumaki. As expected, the user makes a clone of themselves, but in this case, the doppelganger is made of blood. As with their shadow counterpart, these clones have a fraction of the user's overall power but are useful for attacks and other diversions. They are capable of bleeding and are quite durable. Should they be defeated, they will return to their blood form, spraying the opponent with it, marking them that will allow the user to track them. When dispelled, the user and other clones get the information that the clone learned. This technique requires at least high Jounin level chakra reserves to make one, and dispelling multiple clones at once may cause brain damage and blood depletion that may result in death. The jutsu concluded. Naruto thought of practicing them but thought better of it as he is on a time constraint and remembered the required hand seals and moved on to other things written in the scroll. Chakra Natures and Kekkei Genkai. Read the title of the next topic and Naruto got interested and continued. Chakra natures are determined by using the chakra paper and channeling the chakra through them. When shinobi find out about their chakra, they can use them as their chosen elements in combat. To become Chunin, a basic mastery of one chakra nature is taken into consideration. To be a Jounin, a shinobi must have mastery over at least two elements, the primary affinity and the second affinity. Shinobi often then not face the problem of having only one natural affinity. In those scenarios, they can choose one element of their choice to master. There is a technique that allows them to gain another element. All they have to do is to draw the following seal on the ground and smear their blood on it with the kanji of the element they chose in the middle. This will result in either two possibilities. Whether the seal succeeds in adding the second affinity to their chakra system or on failing to add, it creates a minimal affinity towards the chosen element. The risk lay in the process. While the process is going on, the seal will go through the blood and chakra stream of the caster to find the affinities that lay latent in them. The process is painful and may cause immediate death if not treated immediately in case of failure. This is invented by the Uzumaki clan. They had invented it as they have a high healing factor which allows them to endure the process with less pain and heal fast because of their strong vitality. The Uzumaki were the only clan that can perform the sealing ritual and come out without any loss. They did this to create more natural water users as they are surrounded for defense and offense. Uchiha clan. To my fellow Senju and Uzumaki who found this scroll and were able to read this, I, Tobarama Senju, write this to give the knowledge I have learnt about the famed Uchiha clan to you, my fellow descendants and clansmen. I can't have this information known to all and risk the Uchiha clan revolt. So, I suggest you implore caution to whom you choose to tell, but keeping it a secret is wise. He read Tobarama Senju's letter addressed to his descendants. Apparently, they belonged to the same clan before separation but still held good relations after separation as well. The message had so many that made Naruto think again about some things, and his respect for the dead clan and the Nidaime increased. When the Uchiha were around, they would treat him like trash and act as though they were gifts of God to earth. But after reading more about them, he understood more about the clan. It is a shame that they were not around any longer. Naruto sighed and read through some more forbidden knowledge. His thirsty mind took every last bit of knowledge he can read before Mizuki-sensei comes. Naruto thought of thanking the man when he saw him for the help he unknowingly did. It had been another 2 hours when Naruto heard footsteps and turned in the direction. "I found you," said Irika, breathing heavily. He searched long and hard and found Naruto at last. He sighed in relief after seeing the blonde in one piece. "You found me, Irika-sensei, but you didn't catch me," Naruto said and saw Mizuki-sensei come out of the bushes, with a serene smile and as he is looking at him. "You did well, Naruto. Now give me the scroll and you will pass," he said, his features darkening when he said about Naruto passing. He also noticed Irika but decided to play cool. Naruto smiled widely at the man. "Thank you, Mizuki-sensei. I have learnt a jutsu as you told me to. Let me show you," Naruto said, pushing the scroll behind him and forming a cross sign. Mizuki was outraged. The demon brat is not understanding him and wasting his precious time. Time he could use running away from the village as there is no emergency meeting by the Hokage and only Irika came. He smiled evilly at the turn of events. Seems like the senile old monkey caught up to his age and only sent Irika to fight me, he thought in glee, and continued his act. "No need, Naruto. As you have already taken the scroll and learnt a jutsu, that is enough for your field promotion," Mizuki said a bit too late as 4 clones of Naruto poofed into existence beside him. Both Mizuki and Irika were surprised. It's the same day that Naruto had failed to create a single clone and now he created 4 clones. Instead of his urgency, Mizuki continued his play and started walking closer to Naruto. To take the scroll by force and make a run for it. He doesn't have time to play this demon brat's silly tricks. Well done, Naruto. I didn't expect you to be successful in your work. I see dash, he said sweetly but cut off by Iruka. Naruto, don't give that scroll to Mizuki. He tricked you into stealing it from the Hokage Tower. Hokage-sama has assigned me this mission to retrieve you and the scroll safely. He is a traitor, Naruto. Don't give the scroll to him, Iruka shouted as Mizuki started to walk towards Naruto. So he found it, huh? What will you do now? Naruto, give me the scroll, shouted Mizuki, with a manic gleam in his eyes. Naruto stumbled back, shocked and a bit hurt. What? You won't give me and trust Iruka? Then let me tell you a secret that is hidden from you for your whole life, but the whole village knows. Mizuki said with the same manic grin as Iruka's face paled. He knew well what Mizuki is going to say. Mizuki, don't. It's forbidden, Iruka exclaimed, fearing Naruto's reaction. Do you see, Naruto? He is still trying to keep my mouth shut. Anyway, the truth is, when the Kyuubi attacked nearly 13 years ago, the Kyuubi is not killed as told to everyone. The Kyuubi cannot be killed as it is just a mass of chakra with consciousness. The Yondaime had no choice but to seal it. And he chose you, Naruto. He sealed the Kyuubi in you. That is the reason why the villagers hate you. Didn't you think why were you hated even though you didn't do anything to them? Why they are afraid of you and didn't like you, and why everyone used to call you names like Demon Child, Demon Brat, etc. Tell me, Naruto, didn't you ever wonder how your parents died or who they were, and even Iruka didn't like you? He asked, with his grin growing more degenerate as words came out. Naruto's face saddened deeper and deeper after each sentence. He couldn't bear it and tears started to fall freely from his eyes. He turned to Iruka for one last confirmation, and his mourning and sorrowful expression told him everything. You are the reincarnation of the Kyuubi itself. You are the monster that destroyed Konoha and took so many lives on that day. You are the demon, exclaimed Mizuki. His face was full of twisted pleasure. A wall broke in Naruto after hearing those words. He is the demon fox. Did he kill many? He is a monster. His dream of becoming Hokage was not a possibility now. He knew it. They won't accept him whatever he does. He only felt one emotion at that moment. Despair. All his dreams and hopes of becoming Hokage of the village vanished and his light was gone. He felt being dragged into darkness. He can feel despair roll out of him in waves. His body shook. He trembled. Inside of his seal, Kyuubi saw something. A door, which was not present there when he last saw, came into view and all the chains blocking the entry broke loose. He saw the door vanish and his eyes widened at the familiar feeling. Iruka couldn't help but kick himself for not being there for Naruto when he needed it. He drowned in his despair, forgetting about the mission entirely. Mizuki was having the best time of his life. The look of despair in the demon brat's eyes is something he always wanted to see. He laughed deviously. When he felt a sudden surge of chakra, he turned to check on the demon brat. He was facing down, his face covered by his hair casting a shadow on his eyes. Iruka stood up after the surge of chakra, regaining his confidence. You are not the demon fox, Naruto. You are just its container. You know the difference between a kunai and the scroll, right? It's just like that. Yes, I admit when I first saw you I also thought like everyone else, but you proved me wrong, Naruto. You are not the demon fox, not that monster. You are the hero who saved us and is still saving the village from the demon fox by holding it in you. Villagers are mistaken, and with time, they will see you as what you are supposed to be and not as that fox, just like how I came to understand, said Iruka with passion and confidence. Naruto lifted his head towards Mizuki, and he would have sworn that he saw red eyes instead of cerulean blue eyes, that of the brats. He turned to Iruka and smiled. I hope you are right, Iruka-sensei. That one day, I'll be acknowledged and will become the Hokage. Believe it! He exclaimed sadly, and Iruka smiled at his determination. Mizuki growled. How is this possible? He revealed the biggest plot hole only to have the demon brat bounce back. No, he wouldn't allow it. He took the Fuma shuriken which was on his back and threw it at Naruto, which slashed his left arm a bit. Naruto looked at Mizuki, who took another one and threw it at Iruka to stop the scarred Chunin from helping Naruto. No! Naruto shouted and threw a kunai which hit the shuriken and changed its trajectory. It then hit a nearby tree. Mizuki felt outraged at this. Why you, demon brat? You like to save your previous Iruka-sensei now. Let's see you try, Mizuki said and performed a set of hand seals. Doton, Doryuso, Earth Style, Earth Spears, called Mizuki, and an earth spike pierced Iruka's leg, injuring him and restricting his mobility. Iruka cried in pain, and seeing this, Naruto saw red and made a cross sign. Tajukage Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto shouted and 1,000 clones came into existence. You are not going to hurt Iruka-sensei, they all shouted in unison and attacked at once. Naruto Uzumaki Barrage. They shouted and struck Mizuki wherever possible with their feet. A bloody, pale Mizuki was left after Naruto's attack as he was unconscious with his mouth open and teeth broken with a shocked expression on his face. Naruto walked up to Iruka. Are you alright, Iruka-sensei? That team didn't hurt you, right? Naruto asked, looking at the hole in Iruka's leg in concern, to which Iruka smiled in joy. His Naruto is still there, even after Mizuki revealed about the Kyuubi. This must be treated by white people, sensei, Naruto said, referring to the medical ninja, and laughed in joy. After that, some ANBU came and took them, with an unconscious Mizuki, to the T&I department and Naruto and Iruka to the Hokage Tower. Scene break. Hiruzen saw everything through his magic ball. It is nifty like this sometimes. He had a pensive expression as if thinking deeply. Now that the cat was out of the bag, Naruto may change. He saw the expression of despair on the blonde's face. It was very tragic that he had to know the truth this way. He couldn't help but feel sorry for the boy. He should comfort him and, if possible, cheer him up with a jutsu scroll or two. He doesn't want to have a dull and sad Naruto. Naruto should be Naruto. He should be cheerful with his goofy smile. He saw his ANBU back with Naruto and Iruka in tow in a shunshin and turned his attention to them. NBU, dismissed, he ordered, and with a small bow, they vanished. I'm sorry that you have to find out about the Kyuubi from a traitor, Naruto-kun. I'm really sorry. I kept it a secret to keep you safe, he immediately said solemnly. It is time to face the music. All this time, I don't know why they treat me like that. You could have at least told me why, Gigi. At least then, I would have done something better than trying to gain their attention, Naruto said sharply. Hiruzen sighed. He knew he had done so many mistakes in his life, but didn't think Naruto to be this sharp and forthcoming as soon as the cat was out. I'm sorry, my boy. I admit that it is a mistake. I will try to not do it again. Now, is there anything else? He asked, but internally prayed that this is the end of the matter. But Kami, Naruto had other ideas. Is there anything else, you ask? After the big bad secret you have kept from me, now you dismiss it as a normal occurrence? Naruto asked sharply, his tone having an edge. Hiruzen was taken aback by his question. How could he think about this? Seems like Mizuki did do something to the little blonde he is fond of. He is unusually sharp and is thinking before asking anything. That is a welcome change, but in this situation, it started to become a pain in his backside. He smiled at the change in Naruto nonetheless. He thought he couldn't see this day. But another question came to his mind. What about the inheritance he was left with? Should I say it now or not? He thought about it. He is divided. Naruto already went through a trauma, and if he reveals with another, Kami knows what happens. He shook his head negatively, concluding not to. Now is not the time. He needs to calm the blonde down before anything else. I'm sorry for dismissing it like that, Naruto, but I kept it a secret for your safety. Please forgive this old man. I promise to make amends, pleaded the Sandaime. Iruka wanted to intervene, but he knew how traumatic Naruto's experience was and stayed silent. Naruto needs to let it all out. He saw Naruto think about it for some time. Okay, Gigi, but this time tell me before you take any decision relating to my life. Is that all? Are there anything else? Asked Naruto in agreement. He is too tired to deal with this and decided to give the old man the benefit of doubt. He waited expectantly for the old man to say something, but he didn't. Hiruzen was tempted to say everything to Naruto, but he stopped himself. He can't now. He can't risk Naruto's sanity with all the covered secrets. and so he chose not to and nodded negatively. Naruto nodded in agreement and his demeanor changed, his muscles relaxing and face relaxing. He relaxed in his chair. The mission went well, right? He asked, and Naruto nodded excitedly. Though Hiruzen can see through it, the mask, he only hoped he could come out of this trauma unharmed. At least he can hope, right? This is labeled as an A-rank mission, and it will be added to your official mission list as a shinobi. As of this day, Uzumaki Naruto, you will be the genin of Konohagakure no Sato, Sandaime said, taking a leaf headband and giving it to Naruto, who tied it around his forehead and smiled brightly at the Hokage, and both older men smiled back. Congratulations, Naruto. This is my gift for you becoming a genin, Naruto-kun, said the Sandaime and took a book from his desk and gave it to Naruto. It read Basics of Sealing and had a red swirl on it. It has a set of 10 books in a bundle. It is a book on Fuinjutsu from the Uzumaki clan of the Whirlpool Village. If you manage to complete them, I'll give you more, he offered. Naruto's eyes widened. He had a clan and turned to Hiruzen to ask about his parents. No, Naruto-kun. I'll tell you about your parents when you become Chunin. I'll also give you your inheritance then. The Sandaime declined before Naruto can ask and the blonde sighed but nodded. His Gigi always evades the question of his parents. Irika only nodded along, not understanding what was happening. He cleared his throat to speak. Naruto, as a gift on your graduation, will go to Ichiraku and you can eat as much as you want, he said, and Naruto cheered ramen, and they both left the Hokage Tower after receiving the mission payment. Naruto was given 20,000 ryo as his payment as he was not a shinobi during the mission and accepted it with joy. He is happy with the extra money as he is going to buy new clothes and weapons to start his shinobi life. He went to Ichiraku and happily ate his ramen while he explained about his graduation to the ramen chefs, Tuchi and Ayam. They felt happy and gave Naruto a coupon for free ramen for a week as a celebration, and Naruto accepted it with a happy smile. Naruto enjoyed his meal with Irika while he sadly looked at the mission payment he received vanish into broth and noodles. Scene break. The went by after that and Naruto reached his dingy apartment and stared around with pain-filled eyes. Though he managed to fool the Hokage and others, he was deeply hurt and cried himself to sleep, not knowing the subtle changes going on in his body while the Kyuubi stared at his container in disgust. The morning came by soon, and Naruto decided to go shopping to shop for his new shinobi supplies and other basics for his new shinobi life with the extra money he received yesterday. He is satisfied that he now knew the reason behind the stares and derogatory comments on him behind his back by the villagers. Though that didn't make it any better, he felt at ease that he can't change them with his current happy-go-lucky attitude. He tried in all shinobi supply shops and was promptly kicked out as they didn't want to sell him anything. He wanted to try one last time and went to a shop at the end of the street which is at a corner, out of the way to many. It read Higurashi Weapon Stores and Shinobi Supplies. He entered to see a full armory in the shop. There are lots and lots of weapons and shinobi-related items. He can't even identify some, though he knew he is not good at remembering stuff. He did loops around looking at all of them in awe. He heard footsteps and turned around to see who it is. Tenten heard the doorbell ring and came to the store proper to greet the customer from the inventory room. She saw a short blonde kid with an orange jumpsuit and a forehead. She assumed him to be newly minted genin and went to ask him what he wants. "Welcome to Higurashi Weapons Store. How can I help you?" she asked politely. "Wow, is this your shop? It is amazing," the blonde boy said in awe. "Yes, now tell me, what do you want?" "Shinobi clothing, equipment, weapons. We have all of them," she offered with a smile, her chest puffing out in pride. "I first thought of buying only supplies, but your shop has many things. So I'm going to start with my new shinobi attire," he said, and Tenten smiled widely at that. The obnoxious orange jumpsuit was like screaming, "Kill me," and Tenten knew that won't work in their practical life where skill and stealth matter the most. "Good decision. Now follow me. We are going to take the equipment first," she said, and Naruto nodded and followed her around the large store. He doesn't know why he wants to change his orange jumpsuit, as it was with him for the entirety of his life as far as he can remember, but he thought it was for better. Inside Naruto, the Kyuubi was laughing his ass off. How can this idiot be that dumb? He is changing from within and he can't understand it. Well, he is providing me entertainment, why not enjoy? He thought and watched in interest. Naruto took a few sets of shuriken, kunai and their sharpening kits. He also took some ninja wire. After putting them in a pack, he proceeded to the clothing section and tried so many colors for his attire. Yes, this looks perfect, said Tenten excitedly. The customer is very adamant about his choice of colors. He wanted a bit of orange as a remainder and she relented. He chose a black shirt with gray ANBU pants with a light blue zipper on top of it with fishnet inside. His attire consists of red and green strips in different places on the shirt and has so many pockets for shinobi use as well. He also took plain black and other color shirts with black and blue pants for casual wear. He told Tenten to stitch the Uzumaki clan swirl into the attire and she obliged. Naruto also bought fingerless gloves, arm guards and shin guards for protection and went to the counter for payment. He knew his shopping is going to be costly. Tenten calculated everything he bought. It is quite a sum of things combined. Your bill is 7,829 Ryo, she said looking at the calculator and saw a shocked Naruto. Only 8,000 Ryo? He asked doubtfully. Yes, she replied impatiently. What is this guy's problem? Their shop is the premier weapons and shinobi supply shop and this guy can't afford their rates? She knew their store's rates are affordable when compared to other shops. Tenten's irritated internal rant cut off when Naruto put 8,000 Ryo in front of her with a large smile in a flash. A smile that made her day better. Thank you. If it is just 8,000 Ryo, then can you show me a sword as well? I want to buy a, what is it called? Naruto said, scratching his head, and Tenten understood what he was trying and nodded in understanding and took him to the sword section. She started to explain the various types of swords in front of her, which included a tanto, katana, broadswords and long swords. Naruto looked through all of them as any didn't interest him much. Do you have anything else? Naruto asked. Seeing that he is not interested in them, Tenten went to the back of the store to bring other swords available. She brought many swords with various designs. One, in particular, piqued his interest with its design. It is a katana that is at least 2 feet long with a black hilt with a circular guard with rubies in the middle. But the thing that interested him is the Uzumaki swirl, which is on either side of the guard. The same red swirl with black lines which were on his back. Naruto picked it up. A small needle pierced his right thumb finger which held the sword and Naruto felt his blood trickle on the sword. Seals started forming on it and disappeared as fast as they appeared. The sword glowed dimly and Naruto heard a small tune in his head from the place he touched the sword. There was like a soothing feeling. The feeling of love, acceptance spread through him and he felt at peace. He took the sword and gave it a test swing. He liked her, he doesn't know how, but he knew it. He took her up and checked out. Tenten noticed this and put down all the swords she is rummaging through and walked towards Naruto. That sword is in our store for at least a decade. No one seems to take interest in it. It is a costly one, but we are trying to sell it to the first customer who likes it. So you will get a 50% discount. It is 10,000 Ryo, she said with a smile. Naruto pulled 10,000 Ryo and paid without any protest. He knew what he picked was expensive, but the feel of her in his hands is enough for him. He took the scabbard and kept the sword in it. The scabbard was a purple one with gold endings on it. It also has some seals on it and a pattern of swirls and clouds. Naruto took everything he bought and went to his house. He is going to start a new life as a shinobi soon and wanted to be prepared for it. He had 2 weeks to train and is going to use them wisely. With his new knowledge of shadow clones and how to use them, he started his preparation for whatever the shinobi world had to offer him. First, he made 6 of shadow clones and ordered them to go through all his 6 years of academy books. He went to the library himself. As he is a shinobi now, the librarian can't restrict him from coming as he can complain to Hokage about it. After showing his headband, Naruto was allowed access to the shinobi section. He sat there and thought of reading about clans first to learn more about them. Naruto read all the clans of Konoha. He also learned more about the founding clans, the Senju and the Uchiha. Naruto knew a small bit about them from his academy. Now he learned more about them like history and rivalry and their fame. The Senju clan had Senju Hashirama, the Shodai Hokage and the first shinobi no kami. The Uchiha clan had Uchiha Madara, the opposite of Hashirama, and was a traitor. Senju clan members were told to have strong bodies, and Mokuton is an exclusive for the Shodai as none of the other members showed an affinity for it. He read about the Kekkai Genkai of the Uchiha clan as well. The Sharingan. A memory came to him at that. The note he read was written by Tobirama Senju about the Uchiha clan. He felt pain in his eyes, as it also reminded the despair he felt when Mizuki told him about the Kyuubi. Naruto couldn't bear it and immediately ran to his house to rest. He sighed in relief after locking the door and went to bathe. He cleaned himself and looked at his image in the mirror. He froze seeing the reflection. In front of him stood Uzumaki Naruto, tan skin, blonde hair with 6 whisker marks but instead of cerulean blue, blood-red eyes with 2 black tomos in one eye and 1 tomo in the other stared back at him. Naruto knew this to be the pattern of the famous Sharingan, as it is depicted as a red eye with 3 tomos in general. He just read about it in the library. Naruto couldn't believe it. How is this possible? Was one of my parents an Uchiha? Then why did they not adopt me? Naruto thought. He can guess it will be something related to the fox that made him not adoptable. After thinking about this for a few minutes, his mind fell into thinking. Think, Naruto, think. Thinking about how I got this is useless, as Gigi won't tell me about my parents till I make Chunin. I should think of all the benefits I get with it. What is the book told about Sharingan? Let's see. The Sharingan grants the user 2 broad abilities, the Eye of Insight and the Eye of Hypnotism. Eye of Insight. The user can see chakra, giving it color to distinguish it by its composition and source, though not as capable in this regard as the Byakugan. The user is granted incredible clarity of perception, enabling them to read lips or mimic something like pencil movements. They can anticipate an opponent's next move based on the slightest muscle tension in their body and act accordingly to dodge or intercept. They can also read the enemy's hand seals to give them an insight into the performed technique's nature, regardless of the speed of performance. The user can copy almost any jutsu they see, memorizing ninjutsu, genjutsu, and taijutsu with near-perfect accuracy. They can mimic everything they see. Eye of Hypnotism. The user can perform what is generically called genjutsu through eye contact, suggest thoughts and actions to a target, coercing them to divulge information or act in a particular way, potentially without the target's awareness. The Uchiha are particularly infamous for using this ability. Multiple targets can be taken control of in this way, though the more divided the user's attention is, the easier it is for targets to escape this control. Note: this information is subject to personal discretion as it is collected from the information collected from many non-Uchiha and people who face the Uchiha clan. Please be cautious as some information about might not be true entirely. Recalled Naruto, and he got a shit-eating grin. This would make things easier for him. With his clones, he already went through the first 2 years of academy subjects, which are just mathematics and general knowledge. With the addition of Sharingan to the mix, things are going to pick speed. He asked his clones to channel chakra to their eyes, and they also got 2 and 1 Tomo Sharingan in their eyes and shouted in joy. He calmed them down and gave new orders. Boys, take all the books Gigi gave and do as it instructed. If it is a jutsu, copy it with Sharingan and try it. If it is anything else like writing practice or theory, copy the strokes and make more shadow clones and dispel them to pass the knowledge to all. I'm going to study some more about clans and their techniques in general in the library and dispel them in batches. 2 clones for 5 minutes. He ordered, and all of them chorused hi, and Naruto left to the library in high spirits. He went to Ichiraka Ramen and had his lunch there and went to the library. He wants to know any techniques which are specific to the Uchiha clan and how can he be an Uchiha, if it is possible. Maybe if I improve myself and help the village more, people may recognize me? Naruto thought hopefully and moved towards the library. Though he knew it is not going to be easy, he hoped. His change of clothing helped him a lot. Because of not wearing any orange, people thought him to be a new person and did not recognize him at all. Scene break. 2 weeks went by peacefully and Naruto improved by leaps and bounds. In just 14 days he did months' worth of reading and exercise with his clones. He completed all his academy materials and went to the academy library for more. He was only given access to the basic jutsu, being a genin, and Naruto found a jackpot there. He found 4 jutsu scrolls there, which were unused as they were open without a care on a table, and Naruto copied them without hesitation. One of them explained about chakra control and about tree climbing exercises, and another about water walking exercises, which were advanced chakra control exercises according to the scrolls. He practiced them with another 5 clones every day and managed to master tree climbing for 4 days perfectly. He can now walk on trees like on land. Naruto took 7 days to master the water walking exercise fully, and he managed to add 5 more clones to it. He practiced it in the Naka River, outside the village, to keep it a secret. He can now simultaneously run on water and concentrate on throwing shuriken. He was successful in his tried and tested with Suidan no jutsu, water-style water bullets, on himself while water walking to see his proficiency, and managed to keep his spot on water without drowning. The water jutsu was in the 3rd scroll in addition to the chakra control exercises. He practiced the exercises to better control his massive chakra reserves. He can stand on trees and water with minimal chakra expenditures compared to his previous control now. The last jutsu he learned was called Shunshin no Jutsu. Shunshin no Jutsu, body flicker technique. Classification: ninjutsu, general skill. Rank: D rank. Class: supplementary. Hand seals: tiger. Description: the Shunshin no Jutsu, body flicker technique, is a high-speed movement technique used by shinobi to go from one place to another. This is done by enveloping one body in chakra and imagining the place to go. This is done in different forms. The general form used in Konoha is leaf Shunshin, where a whirlwind of leaves will form where the user appears. Every elemental nation has its unique type of Shunshin. Naruto learned and started his practice. As the days passed, his control on shadow clone jutsu increased, and he can now do 15 clones without any backlash on his mind. After practicing with his clones, he can use the Shunshin with just a poof of smoke. He liked the way his clones pop, so he applied this to the jutsu as well. That was a productive 2 weeks in Naruto's case. He learnt new jutsus, improved his chakra control, started seals by practicing calligraphy, and completed his academy textbooks. He is ready for whatever the shinobi world throws at him. With confidence, he walked to the academy in his new attire, ready to face the shinobi world head-on. Chapter 1. Gaining experience. Naruto was in high spirits when he reached the academy, as he is an official shinobi of Konoha now. As he entered, everyone looked at him confidently. Naruto heard the students present take him for some new kid. He smiled to himself. So it worked. He thought as few recognized him while he was coming to the academy, and others' curious looks confirmed it. He shrugged them off and sat at the back of the class, waiting for Iruka-sensei's arrival. After the initial shock wore off, everyone continued with their work. He just sat there thinking about the clones he left to continue his fuinjutsu practice. The sealing art felt natural for him. At the rate of his practice, he knew he will perfect his calligraphy soon. Naruto sat reading about the sealing theory. For the class to start and to practice, he wanted to experiment in a secure place with no one disturbing. He stuck to reading for now. His dingy apartment doesn't fit the bill, as it is ready to blow up at moment's notice if he had one strong sneeze. He needs a place that serves as a good testing ground and, if possible, a second home. With these thoughts in mind, Naruto continues his study about sealing from the books and the types of seals used in general. They are very interesting, to say the least. Exploding tags, flash tags, and smoke bombs are a few applications of seals, and Naruto knew there can be so many more if one puts heart into it, and he already plans to. He read while waiting for Iruka to come, and the class filled up. Shikamaru, heir to the famed Nara clan, well known for their intellectual minds, came and sat in the middle row with Choji, another clan heir of the Akamichi clan, in tow. Naruto was friends with them in their early academy days. But it's been heard since Naruto taller to them, like how they used it other than the occasional greeting here and there. Naruto can see things that he couldn't before and pick subtle hints in the postures and demeanor of others. A great skill, very important for his shinobi life ahead. Naruto noticed Shikamaru looking at him but didn't comment and lazily slept on his desk, while Choji started eating chips from a bag he got from somewhere. Soon others came, which included Kiba, Hinata, Shino, and finally Sasuke, who sat in their seats while other civilian children came and sat in their places. Excited chatter grew in class as most arrived. Sasuke looked at Naruto with raised eyebrows, to which Naruto replied with his stare. An impromptu staring match started and ended with the Uchiha turning away with the HN and sitting in his brooding pose, both hands clasped near his mouth and looking somewhere out of the window. Naruto didn't care much about the Uchiha boy and continued his reading. But all of a sudden, the class started shaking as loud footsteps thumped outside and the door was flung open. "I came first," Ino exclaimed, gasping for breath. "What are you talking, pig? Didn't you see my foot stepped into the class first?" Sakura argued, and they both had a catfight about it and came near Sasuke. "Tell her I'm first, Sasuke-kun," Ino asked a brooding Sasuke with a dreamy face. "You're right. Sasuke-kun knew I'm first and I'm going to sit beside him," Sakura proclaimed and sat beside the last Uchiha before Ino could retort. Sakura looked around as if to find something or someone and looked at Naruto. He didn't directly see her but observed from his peripherals. Not finding what she was looking for, she sat beside Sasuke and started asking him out and things she generally does. Ino went to Shikamaru and sat beside the sleeping Nara. Shikamaru cracked an eye open and saw her and closed it. The class was chatting animatedly when the door opened again and Irika-sensei walked in with a stack of papers. "Hello, class," he said with a smile, but none noticed or cared to listen to him and continued chatting. He got tick marks on his head and shouted with his patented big head jutsu. "Shut up, you brats," he yelled, and the class calmed down. "Good morning, class," he said cheerfully again. "Good morning, Irika-sensei." We all chorused. He started the class by taking roll calls. As the names went by, Naruto's turn came. "Uzumaki Naruto." "Hi, sensei," said Naruto with his hand up, and everyone turned to him, shocked. Shikamaru shrugged as if he knew and continued to sleep. But others were still glued to him, even Irika. Kiba tried to say something, but words stuck in his mouth as he saw Naruto in his new attire looking professional, which is far cry from his appearance, and Irika-sensei spoke before him. "Naruto, nice outfit by the way," Irika complimented, unable to say anything else. Naruto acknowledged with a small smile and Irika continued the roll call. After roll call was completed, he took another sheet of paper. "Now, students, I'm happy that you all passed your graduation exam. I'm proud of you all. From this day forth, you will be starting your shinobi career. I suggest you keep everything you learned in the academy in mind and improve yourself to be more skilled as you move forward. Remember, teamwork is key to success and one of the fundamental traits of a Konoha shinobi. I won't hold you any further. I'll announce the teams assigned by Hokage-sama, and if you have any problem, you can talk to him," he said, and everyone nodded. "Team 1 will be..." Irika started and Naruto ignored, thinking about the team he will be assigned to. Meanwhile, Hokage office, Hokage tower. "Are all present?" asked the Sandaime to the Jounin who agreed to be sensei this year. Everyone knew one was missing. Disregarding that, he continued. "My dear Jounin, you are the few that have come forward to take a genin team this year. Do your best to train them. I think I don't need to lecture you about how to be in a T-dash." He was interrupted by a puff of smoke. "I'm sorry, Hokage-sama. A black cat came in my way when I was coming here, so I have to take a long way around," said a silver-haired man. The Hokage sighed. "Remember, these children are the future of our village and shinobi force. All the teams have been assigned with due considerations, so there won't be many changes in them. If you have any objections, send them to me. And you know the drill. Dismissed." The Sandaime commanded and all of them left the room, including Kakashi, who didn't even get acknowledged. Academy classroom. Team 7 will be Haruno Sakura, Uchiha Sasuke, and Uzumaki Naruto, and your sensei will be Hatake Kakashi, announced Irika. When the first two names came, Sakura screeched in joy, and when the last name came, she yelled in horror. Sasuke and Naruto had a staring contest again, with none saying anything. Sasuke turned away with a typical Uchiha, Ichin, again, and Naruto didn't respond. I don't know what happened to me, but I can think properly without any shouts or yelling and proclamations about being Hokage. I don't even feel anything even though I'm on the same team as Sakura." Did awakening my Sharingan changed me this much as a person? Instead of a knucklehead, loud obnoxious idiot, I'm calm, collected, can think well and can observe small details as well. I think I should continue the act sometime to not raise any suspicion. But this is nice. Something in me changed on that day. I can't help but see everything clearly now. The interesting team though. Rookie of the Year, Kunoichi of the Year and dead last, at least to them. I'll see how it works, thought Naruto to himself but gave a small smile outside instead of exclaiming loudly. Everyone was stunned because of his reaction or lack thereof. This is very new to them. Quite Naruto and some took it as a bad omen. Okay class, your sensei will be here to take you after lunch. You have 2 hours to prepare. You should be here by 1 p.m. Irika said happily and everyone nodded. Again, congratulations on graduating from the academy, class. I wish you all best of luck in your shinobi careers, he said and the class cheered. After Irika's goodbye, Naruto left to eat. Sakura expected Naruto to ask her out on a date or eat together and the like, but the blonde walked out of the class without saying anything. Few hours later, academy. After eating lunch, Naruto went to his apartment to see the progress made by his clones in Fuinjutsu. He saw them still reading the books given by his Gigi and nodded. He didn't expect them to be done by one as the books given by his Gigi were large and written by the Uzumaki clan, his clan. After reading Nidame's note, Naruto understood that there is a real clan with the name of Uzumaki. That gave him bug relief as he thought himself to be a no-name nobody. Though he doesn't know who his parents are, he is happy enough to know he had a clan. As he continued reading, the books increased in size by at least 100 pages from volume to volume. He sat on the couch and thought about the things he learned from his academy books. The books stressed basic Academy 3 jutsus and covered geography and general maps and terrains of all major villages and their current kages. They greatly covered history, greatness, and all victories of Konoha in the last 3 shinobi wars. They also, of course, portrayed Konoha as the epitome of goodness and power and the strongest hidden village in the world. But because of his first-hand experience with the truths of his village, Naruto knew what Konoha really is. He also learned about Genjutsu theory and Iriojutsu theory, though they were covered in his curriculum. Both branches require refined chakra control to use, and then the deterrent for him, people with large chakra reserves can't escape any Genjutsu easily. Naruto got an idea and looked at the clock to see he still had an hour to go or just send a clone there if need be. He opted for the second option and sent a clone there ahead of time. He then enacted his plan by creating 5 clones in addition to the ones already there with orders given. All their eyes morphed into red eyes with 2 black tomos in one and 1 black tomo in the other. They look frightening, yes, but it didn't faze Naruto. With the basics already complete, he stared straight into one of his clone's eyes and others followed his lead, dividing into pairs. Sharingan, Genjutsu, whispered Naruto, and the clones chorused. They all felt different sensations. First was the feeling of foreign chakra entering their system, understood because of the improved chakra control. Though the chakra belongs to the original, all the experimental clones felt it to be foreign. Did it work? Asked one clone. Let's try, said another. They made their subjects do various things. One to dance, one to roll, one to walk on toes, and so on. After getting enough evidence, they broke the Genjutsu and ordered to repeat it, but roles reversed. Before that, all the victim clones were dispelled, to give their knowledge to the original and other clones, and the experience was surreal. By this point, Naruto got accustomed to 10 clones dispelling at once and all the information they brought with it. So after half of recovering, they continued. The casters become the victims now, and Naruto experienced being locked in a Genjutsu for the first time. The experience his clones provided proved invaluable now. He knew what to expect in a typical Genjutsu now and tried to escape it by the traditional ways. After many times of practice with his 20 clones, he mastered breaking Genjutsu. He did it in 2 ways. The first is to cause physical pain, which his clones did first when their brain cells were assumed to be dead due to the Genjutsu. After he shouted at their dumbness, they tried it by simply activating their Sharingan, and that broke the Genjutsu easily. He thought of covering his eyes with a Genjutsu so that his eyes won't be red with tomos when he used the Sharingan. But it is not easy as said. So Naruto opted for contacts for the time being, a way to change someone's eye color, and is generally used to better vision by shinobi as glasses can become a hassle in some scenarios. He was successful in that endeavor and found a shop in the village that agreed to do contacts for him, and Naruto asked them to be Yandame's eye color, which is close, almost similar to his shade of blue. The owner was super happy to help him as he thought Naruto's henge to be another Yandame fan. The contacts fit him perfectly as they are not for any sight. They were immediately prepared. Naruto tested them. They work perfectly well. When he activated his Sharingan, everything can be seen in blue now, unlike where he can clearly distinguish chakra color. He observed his eyes in the mirror and saw them to be his usual cerulean and nodded in satisfaction. While Naruto was progressing in his genjutsu skills and finding ways to improve, his team meeting went without a hitch. Few hours prior. Academy classroom. Clone Naruto entered the empty class as he was early. He sat at the same corner and took out a book on jutsu theory, which is used to create new jutsu he got from the library. This is a book available in the shinobi section and is within his access limit. It mainly consists of steps to create a jutsu and what aspects should it have in general. For example, if it is a ninjutsu type, it should have hand seals, chakra manipulation, chakra nature, chakra molding, and chakra amount, and then comes the jutsu rank. The rank generally depends upon the jutsu damage to enemies or surroundings and also self-damage if any caused. The clone was deep in his reading when he heard a boisterous laugh and turned to see Kiba coming in. He kept his book in his pocket and prepared for the upcoming provocation. "Yeah, you think so?" Kiba asked Shikamaru, who was looking at the ceiling lazily and picking his ear. "Yeah," he responded and stopped when he noticed the clone's presence. "Troublesome," he muttered under his breath and went to his seat and slept. The rest of the group saw Naruto and came near him. The group consists of Kiba, Shino, Chuji, Ino, and Sakura. They all came near his seat and surrounded him. "Hey Naruto, what is with the change of clothes?" Kiba asked loudly. They all are in their normal academy uniform. Naruto didn't care much about them to observe any difference. "You idiot, ask him about how he graduated. I remember him failing then," Sakura exclaimed, and Ino nodded vigorously. "Yeah. How and when did you graduate, Naruto?" Kiba asked curiously, and the clone observed everyone's interest in the topic as they moved closer to him, and even a sleeping Shikamaru cracked an eye open. "Well," he started and gave a dramatic pause. Everyone inched even closer at this. "Because I'm awesome," he exclaimed, and everyone stumbled and fell upon each other in a big human mess. Shikamaru also fell from his seat. "Ha ha ha," laughed the blonde. "You built up all that suspense and made us fools," said Kiba, rubbing his bum. Akamaru barked in agreement. "You should learn how to treat a young lady, Naruto," said Ino, who fell on Sakura, who got a tick mark and pushed her up. She was about to hit Naruto when he just moved back and she fell again. "I guess, Ino, but I don't have any beautiful young lady like you near me to teach me," he said and winked at her. Ino rubbed her eyes and took a double take. She can't believe that Naruto of all people is talking to her like this. In his new clothes, he looked somewhat cool, but not as cool as her precious Sasuke-kun, of course, but handsome nonetheless. She blushed and went back to Shikamaru and Chuji, who left the group when he saw them fall. "You're right, as if you are awesome," said Kiba. Naruto just shrugged as they went back to their seats, uninterested in the blonde's dramatic change. The clone sat patiently and saw every team going out with their sensei. He made a note of observing both Sakura and Sasuke in the meantime, and 2 hours passed since everyone left. Sakura was getting more and more desperate and started walking around the class fuming while Sasuke was brooding in the same corner. He continued reading his book. After 1 more hour, Sakura was shouting profanities and Sasuke was glaring at the door. He thought of all the possibilities for a jounin to be this late and waited for the man to come to make his judgment. The door to the room opened and in came a silver-haired man. "My first opinion of your group is you are all a bunch of idiots," he said, and everyone paused for a bit to take what he said, and Sakura's anger came full force. "You are late," she shouted like a banshee. The man picked his ear up and replied, "Well, I got lost in the road of life," he said calmly, and they there fell from their seats after hearing that. The clone nearly popped at that. "Yes, it is decided. This guy won't train me or the boss. Better to self-study instead of wasting time waiting for him. He mentally decided and listened to the man's instructions. Meet me in 5 minutes on the roof, and he poofed out of existence. Naruto's clone rose an eyebrow. Did he just use Kage Bunshin no Jutsu? He thought and went up with the rest of the group. The man sat at the edge of the railing, reading a small orange book titled Ika Ika Paradise. Naruto knew that book. He made his Oiroke no Jutsu, sexy jutsu, based on the reference from the book. He is reading porn in public and in front of children nonetheless. He is going to be an ideal sensei for sure. He smirked, internally observing Kakashi's habits. They settled as the man closed his book. Naruto sat to the left, while Sasuke sat beside him and Sakura beside Sasuke. They all looked at him expectantly. "Well, introduce yourselves," he said plainly. "What do you mean, sensei?" Sakura asked in confusion. Didn't he read their files when he was assigned the team? "Well, tell me your likes, dislikes, hobbies and goals or dreams for the future," he elaborated in a bored tone. "Why don't you show us how?" suggested Sakura, and he gave her an unimpressed answer anyway. "Me? My name is Hatake Kakashi. My likes are not for children. My dislikes are none of your business, and dreams for the future. Never thought about it," he said with an eye smile, with his single visible eye forming a U shape. "He just told us his name. It's clear he is insane," concluded the clone. "That's useless. He just told us his name," murmured Sakura, and he and Sasuke nodded in agreement. "Now you, Pinky, tell us about your likes, dislikes, goals or dreams for the future." He pointed and Sakura started. "Well, my likes are..." She stared at Sasuke and giggled. "My dislikes are Ino pig pestering and Naruto asking for dates," she proclaimed. "My dreams for the future are..." She again stared at Sasuke and giggles to herself. Naruto's clone and Kakashi had the same thought. "Yep, definitely a fangirl." Sasuke's sweat dropped at her explanation. "She just stared at me, giggled?" He shouted in his mind but kept his cool composure. "Now you, duck-ass haircut," said Kakashi, and Sasuke's eye twitched at that. "What is this idiot thinking about him? Uchiha Sasuke, is an elite," he thought, fuming. "My name is Uchiha Sasuke. I dislike things more than I like them. My dreams for the future are... No, I'll make it a reality is to kill a certain someone and rebuild my clan," he said neutrally with his hands on his mouth. "Great, I got an Avenger," thought Kakashi. Naruto's clone didn't say anything but observed and kept his thoughts to himself. "Now you, Blondie." "Yes, thank you, Scarecrow," rebuked Naruto, and Kakashi's lone eye widened at that. "My name is Uzumaki Naruto and I like ramen. I hate the 3 minutes it takes to cook ramen, and my dream is to become the Hokage," he proclaimed loudly to the heavens. "If they accept me," he thought to himself. "And a hyperactive loudmouth. Great," thought Kakashi to himself. He forgot the comment Naruto made on him, drowning in sadness. "Okay, team. Tomorrow we are going to do survival training. Come to Training Ground 7 at 5 a.m. sharp, and remember, don't eat or you will puke," he said, and vanished in another puff of smoke. The three of them grumbled about lazy sensei and started leaving. Sasuke left while Sakura followed him. He just dispelled, relaying all the information to the original. Naruto's residence. Naruto was practicing how to cast genjutsu with Sharingan when the memories of his clone hit him. His concentration lapsed and the genjutsu dispelled. All the clones were looking at him after receiving and going through the memories themselves. Looks like we have an interesting team, boys. A scarecrow, a fangirl, and an Avenger. Interesting indeed. We'll start our seals practice from tomorrow. We will go out to find a place somewhere outside the village which is secure enough for us to practice our seals. I don't want to be held back by his lackadaisical nature." "Understood?" he asked, and the clones nodded. "And be discreet and make sure to not garner any attention," he added, and got a collective "hi." They practiced for a few more hours, and after completing the practice for the day, Naruto dispelled them and went out to have dinner at Ichiraku's. After eating dinner at Ichiraku's, Naruto enacted his search by merging himself with shadows with black clothes. He wore a black shirt with black pants and bought a black mask to cover his face like his new sensei. He is an inspiration in that, if Naruto had to say. He used sunshine to the forest outside of Konoha. In a few minutes, he reached the outer wall of Konoha and jumped over it and made it into the large forests of Konoha. He made 20 clones to search and they all disappeared. They all activated their Sharingan to search for any chakra trace. Though such massive use of Sharingan costs lots of chakra, Naruto had enough to back it up and they used that to their advantage. They are searching for chakra trace to find a building that is chakra restricted so that all the activity he does with destructive seals and future practice won't be sensed or heard. They searched for hours and decided to rest when a clone found a ruined building protected by some kind of barrier and dispelled itself to transfer the information. Getting its memories, all clones and the original came there using Shunshin and inspected the building. The first thing Naruto's eyes showed him was a broken swirl symbol on the ruined building. It was made of dark brown wood with a swirl engraved in it. He can see the huge amounts of chakra inside from the broken door and cautiously went near it. Okay, boys. Looks like some kind of warehouse. It has large amounts of chakra in addition to the barrier. I want one of you to go in and check for any traps. Move, ordered the original, and 5 clones went in to investigate. Though the building had his clan symbol, it's better safe than to be sorry. So Naruto decided to test everything before going in himself. As the clones moved in, they noticed how ruined the building was. Ruined because of time and lack of proper care. They can see so many cracks and broken at some places. They moved to a place where the highest concentration of chakra is and noticed the lack of traps. On their way, they passed an enclosure like a place where there are many masks. Seeing that there are no traps, one of them dispelled, giving the original green signal to enter, and Naruto entered without delay. He also saw the masks, but since he didn't know what they are, he moved to the room where his clones are. He saw the biggest seal he ever saw there, which in his life is not that much as he came to know about seals just a few weeks ago. From what he learnt in the books and theory, they are preservative seals, cleaning and conditioning seals intertwined with strengthening seals and blood seals from his best guess. Not that he can understand whatever is written in them, he just know basics, and from basics he can understand that much. He scanned it closer and bit his finger and spread his blood across the matrix to assess the reaction. The matrix glowed a faint blue, showing the seal's absorption of his chakra and blood, and the building rocked, giving them access to another path as the floor split. Naruto saw a long corridor with softly glowing lights produced by flickering torches. He moved in with his clones guarding his back. They moved into a large room. There are doors lined up. Each one of them is well maintained and clean. Curious about the rooms, he went in to see what was in the rooms and was surprised by the contents in them. The first room is set up to mirror a large training ground. It is nearly 500 meters large with lighting coming from somewhere. It also has so many stances, katas and poses painted on all of it. In the middle of the room was a big red swirl which is nearly 10 meters long across the surface and the ceiling. He can see seals on it as well. He moved to the second room, which is a large library. Large in the very meaning. It seems endless to his eyes, even with his Sharingan. There are books on different things. Ninjutsu, Genjutsu, Fuinjutsu, Kenjutsu, Juinjutsu, Bokujutsu, Iryo Ninjutsu, and so on. But most belong to Fuinjutsu and its types. There are other books like history, Yuzushiogakure uniforms, and maps of different nations. The uniform of Uzushio Genin is just like his. Light blue shirt with a black undershirt and gray pants, with the headband of Uzushio on their forehead protector, which is a swirl. The name Uzushio was on everything in the room, as if it is another ninja village, and Naruto decided to investigate further about it and moved to the third room, which can be assumed as an armory. There are lots and lots of weapons in it, like in thousands, which consist of shuriken, kunai, smoke bombs, flash tags, explosive tags, etc. They are sharp as well, with no wear and tear like his normal kunai, as if polished recently, and Naruto also saw many swords and books on different kenjutsu styles. He noticed a missing sword in its display to the side and moved closer. The design of the imprint is something he felt familiar with. He took his katana and put it on the designed imprint. There was the sound of something unlocking as a drop of his blood was taken from the hilt of the sword. He can see bluish-green chakra enter his sword as it fits in the imprint. He saw the outline of a woman form in it. He can feel her and her connection to him. It is not fully sentient to talk, but he can feel her emotions, and he assumed it is vice versa. Love, acceptance and joy were her emotions. She loves him and is happy he loves her by the simple act of carrying her around as seals started to form on her. He doesn't know what they meant, but from what he can read, the kanji read protection, power, and some other seals formed on her. In a puff of smoke, a scroll appeared in front of him. Naruto took the scroll and opened it to read. To the prince. This scroll explains about the katana which was left for the prince of the Uzumaki clan as an heirloom. Dear Prince, the katana, Mayuri, is an heirloom given to you in this moment of our extinction. In the Second Great Shinobi War, the combined forces of IWA, Kumo and Kiri have attacked us and our numbers are decreasing fastly. Princess Kushina, the heiress of the clan, was sent to Konoha to be the next Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi just a week ago. We have sent for help, but I think the situation is not favorable for Konoha to send any help. This scroll is sent to the Uzumaki clan compound in Konoha. Mayuri is made especially for you, dear prince, and we at the Uzushio hope that she suits you well. We made this especially for you because Princess Kushina is not going to marry an Uzumaki, and one of our elders foresaw about a young child of Uzumaki heritage, suffering in his earlier years. Mayuri won't work for anyone other than you, young prince. She has some seals to identify you and some other special seals to make her different from others. We hope this will change things for the better for you, dear prince. Regards. Proud clansman of Uzushio-gakure. Naruto reread the letter many times. His clan people had given him something in their memory. He felt elated and happy at that, and they also told him his mother's name. Uzumaki Kushina. He is going to search for her and know who his parents are. He took the katana and looked it over. She is beautiful after getting new seals. Mayuri, what a beautiful name. I think it means true friend. He thought to himself and rubbed her. He had a connection to his clan and a friend now. His heart danced in joy at that. A friend. He always wanted a friend. But now he got a real friend. He took the scroll and pocketed it and moved to the next door, pushing through his emotions after reading the heartwarming letter. He moved into the fourth room, which turned out to be a living area with further doors inside. He just looked at the door and didn't go any further and went to the next room. The fifth room is some kind of spa and had a hot spring in it and with so many shower heads. So this is common pool, huh? He thought and moved to the next room. The sixth room consists of different beds and lots of spirit smells. He thought it to be a hospital wing and moved on. The seventh room is a dojo and had mats in it with stands. The eighth room is a storeroom. It has probably tons of wood, bricks, cement, etc. materials which are used in construction and other equipment like wires, sinks, etc. It's a large go-down of many things. Naruto moved into the library as he is most interested in it and read through all the books and took books relating to Fuinjutsu. 20 clones went to the training ground to practice seals as they are itching to practice after reading all the theories. After going through all the taijutsu styles, he picked one which he liked most and sent another 20 clones to practice it. The taijutsu style he picked and liked the most was the Wind God style or Fujinkan. The style mainly depends upon the flow and flexibility of the body like wind. He didn't know why he liked the name and the style, but it has a nice ring to it and he is going to master it. He knew well that his taijutsu sucks. Naruto made a total of 50 clones. 20 on Fuinjutsu practice, 20 on taijutsu practice, while the other 10 went through all E, D, and C ranked ninjutsu scrolls in the library. Naruto decided to amass knowledge first and practice later when he is free. The night went by as the original reached his residence by 11 in the night and slept with so many emotions. He discovered what can be seen as his clan's estate in Konoha, which suggests a presence of past members' residence in the village, and found about his clan, sword, and most of all, his mother. Uzumaki Kushina. Huh. What a beautiful name. If only I can meet you, Ka-chan, was Naruto's last thought before sleeping. Next morning, Naruto's house. Naruto woke up at 5 in the morning. He thought of going to the training ground, but after listening to the reason his sensei gave them about his late arrival, he thought the better of it. He decided to go around 9. If Kakashi came early, he is going to find Naruto at his house, but he is not going early and wasting his time waiting for the tardy man's arrival. Naruto went through his newly created daily exercises which included push-ups, pull-ups and laps around an empty training ground. His clones were already dispelled in the morning and he sent a fresh batch of 50 clones to his clan's estate. After completing his exercises, Naruto went to the supermarket under Henge and bought some fresh vegetables for his breakfast with some bacon and toast. His hunger was legendary after all, and everything he ate will disgust fast. He started eating vegetables as it was mentioned in a book about the requirements of young shinobi or kunoichi in general. The most stressed part is about protein and nutritious food, as the young shinobi go through many activities in a day as well, which makes them burn lots of calories. So heavy meals with nutritious vegetables are recommended. Naruto followed the suggestion and started eating vegetables after his graduation. He aims to grow taller this year as he is the shortest in his class. He ate and started reading the book on jutsu creation where his clone left yesterday. He waited for the arrival of Kakashi or any of his teammates to check up on him, and as he expected, none came, which means Kakashi didn't come yet. As the clock struck 9, he walked at a sedate pace to the training ground 7. He reached after 20 minutes of walking and saw 2 angry teammates. Sakura was walking angrily while Sasuke looked ready to explode. Naruto brought some exploding tags and flash tags with him from the Uzumaki estate weaponry to test. He is going to try them on Kakashi. Kakashi is going to be his guinea pig for this test. He saw his 2 teammates staring murderously at him, much less in the case of Sasuke. "Hello, how are you doing?" he asked cheerfully. Sakura got tick marks and Sasuke's hand twitched as it reached to his kunai pouch. "You are late. You idiot!" Sakura screamed. He felt as if his eardrums broke, but he got his senses back after a second back and took earplugs out of his ears. "Well, they are useful and no, I'm not late, Sakura," Naruto told her, the cheeriness in his tone decreasing. He bought earplugs for this purpose. He knew she is going to shout at him. Sasuke was nearly 20 feet away and is sitting in a tree, so he escaped the full brunt of it. While Naruto is just 15 feet away from her, Sakura tried to hit Naruto, unsatisfied with his escape from her shout. But Naruto is not going to take everything she does laying down and step aside. Sakura lost momentum and fell. "I think you should see where you are going, Sakura," he said and made no effort to lift her. She stood up with a shocked expression but came out of her stupor quickly. "How are you not late?" she asked impatiently. "It's simple really. Sensei didn't come yet. I came before him. If he can come whenever he wants while telling us to come early, why should I? I thought both of you are smart enough to understand that." "Again, considering the circumstances, it doesn't look like it," Naruto explained. Both Sakura and Sasuke had the expression of a deer caught in headlights. Their mouths were agape, looking at Naruto like he was an alien. Sasuke quickly recovered and came with a counter. "We came early to discuss the strategy, Dobe, and you are late," he said in the Uchiha superiority tone. This irked Naruto. After awakening his Sharingan, he can't take people talking to him as if they were superior to him, unlike his dumb counterpart who doesn't even care about the tone or body language. "Well then, tell me what you are strategizing about. Tell me the plan and I'll add my input," Naruto countered, and that shut the Uchiha's mouth up. Naruto smirked. "Nothing? Then let me tell you the strategy. Konoha is famous for her teamwork, which is promoted in her shinobi forces. I think the test that Scarecrow is going to give us is something relating to teamwork. So if we work together, we'll definitely make a good impression," Naruto said with confidence and got the feeling of being stared at like an alien. "Who are you? What have you done to Naruto?" Sakura screamed, pointing an accusatory finger at Naruto. According to her, this person in front of her is not Naruto. Maybe Sasuke-kun changed himself into Naruto to give him a chance, she thought, and inner Sakura agreed by screaming Shinaro. Sasuke was also taken aback by this level of intelligence. He just shrugged. He doesn't care whatever they think. "They are going to drag me down. I just want to complete this and go train. I must kill him," he concluded and nodded his at Naruto, and seeing Sasuke nod, Sakura reluctantly nodded. Another half an hour has passed when Kakashi came in a puff of smoke. "Yo!" he greeted them cheerfully. Sakura usually screamed that he is late and he gave the excuse of a black cat and they settled in. "Are you ready for the survival exercise?" he asked and all nodded. He took out 2 bells from his pocket. "Your task is simple. You should take these bells from me," he said, and they stared at the 2 bells, and Naruto questioned the obvious. "But sensei, there are only 2 bells and 3 of us." "Correct, my blonde student. That is the test here. Only 2 of you will pass this test, and the one left will be sent back to the academy," he said with an eye smile, and he got the expected shock from his 3 cute students. "And oh, I forgot to tell. These tests have a 66% fail rate. That means out of 9 teams that graduated from the academy, only 3 teams will pass and 1 of you will be sent back to the academy either way. You have until noon to take these, and the person who gets the bell eats," Kakashi said, pulling out a clock and putting it on a rock and 2 lunch boxes with it. "Don't forget to come at me with the intent to kill. Begin," he said, and vanished. 3 of them dispersed in different directions. They know at least the basics," thought Kakashi as he took his favorite book and started reading, giggling perversely. Naruto played things through his head and found his theory to be correct. 3 genin, how hard they try, cannot take a bell from a jounin. So he is testing our teamwork. Naruto smirked internally at his perfect analysis. He made a clone and sent it to distract Kakashi while he went to find his teammates. Activating Sharingan as he already had his contacts on, he saw a chakra signature in the bushes and went there while his clone distracted Kakashi. "Well, we have an early participant," said Kakashi, and started defending himself. He was reading his book while defending against all the punches, kicks, and other basic taijutsu moves he is making. "He is doing good," thought Kakashi, still reading his book, while the real Naruto reached Sasuke. "Hey Sasuke, down here," he called as he was lying on the ground below the bushes for cover. "Naruto, what are you doing here? Aren't you fighting Kakashi?" Sasuke asked, confused. "Yeah, that's a clone. I figured it out. As I told you, this is about our teamwork. Think Sasuke. 3 genin who are fresh out of the academy cannot defeat an experienced jounin like Kakashi-sensei. So we should work together and impress him to pass us," he said. Though Sasuke got angry that he, the Uchiha elite, couldn't figure it out, he didn't give it much thought as he has more important things than this team and agreed to join the blonde. "We'll find Sakura and fight together and complete this stupid test," he said, and Sasuke followed the intelligent blonde. He never thought a day that makes him follow the blonde of all people will come. Upon reaching the pink-haired girl, Naruto nudged Sasuke to explain things as she doesn't listen to him. Sakura agreed, thinking that her precious Sasuke-kun was genius, and they formed a strategy. "So what we do is attack as a team. No matter what he says, don't fall for him. We can pass this only if we do this as a team," Naruto explained confidently and got nods of acknowledgments from his teammates. Though Sakura admired Sasuke's cool demeanor, she heard what the blonde said and agreed with it, as her Sasuke-kun agreed as well. Naruto was keenly observing Kakashi's every moment with his Sharingan, searching for weaknesses. He saw Sasuke charging with a few of his clones and doing some hand signs, and the clone dispelled, relaying everything it learned to the original. Katan, Gokakyu no Jutsu, Fire Style, Fireball Jutsu. Futon, Daitapa, Wind Style, Great Breakthrough. Shouted Sasuke and Naruto simultaneously. A large fireball fueled by a strong gust of wind mixed and ended up increasing the speed and intensity of the flames of the fireball as it sped towards a surprised Kakashi, who quickly performed his own set of hand signs. Suetun, Suryuden no Jutsu, Water Style, Water Dragon Projectile Jutsu. A big water dragon rose from a nearby pond and clashed with the large wind-fueled fireball, and steam rose from the clash, blinding everyone with mist. Futon, Daitapa, Wind Style, Great Breakthrough, said Naruto, and cleared the mist with another gust of wind. Everyone except Kakashi regained their vision. Kakashi was near Sakura performing hand signs. Naruto saw the change in her chakra and knew it to be some kind of genjutsu as she screamed. He went to her and released the genjutsu, pushing some of his chakra into her body, disrupting her chakra flow. She regained her consciousness and started